Hello there. What a beautiful day and welcome. Thanks for joining me. We are, as promised, moving forward with our MK44 Maschinen Krieger, our first attempt at one of these kits, and we're having a great time. These are really enjoyable. If you've never tried one or if you've seen them and wonder what they're all about, these things are a dream to put together. They're kind of a combination of both the kits we're used to and the Bandai mobile suit sort of kits from Bandai. So the combination of the two makes it really a lot of fun. So yeah, we've got our basic coats of primer on, and we used two types. I got them around here somewhere. Anyways, I used an oxide red and I used a galvanized white, which is sort of an off-white, like a bone. And they're working really good so far. And I've been sort of modeling through the different greens that I've got to sort of get close to the color card here for this one here. Is that the one? Yep, that's the one right there that we're doing. So let us, I'll get you overhead here. I think a pretty good match for the yellow here, which is, you know, kind of like an orangish sort of yellow, and I've kept this modelly sort of white underneath. You can kind of get a look at that there. So you can kind of see that I've got that mottled sort of paintwork going, and the same here with the foot. I've started with the foot, and I've just put it together. Now what I'm doing is I did these little things in the front of the toe. I painted them red. Reason being is I'm going to have these standing in bays of you know, service bays, or where they're stored, where they're, you know, like a runway or a flight building, you know, plane where they house the buildings. So that's house the planes. I mean, that's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to stick it in bays with the other one. So I want the feet looking locked. So it's in a locked position. It's safe to go near the feet. It's not going to move on you or anything. And I figured if I paint those red, that sort of signifies that they're locked. So yeah, I went ahead and painted those, and I've sort of pieced it together, and I'm just sort of working through the colors of green. Which ones that I want to use, and I started with the lightest of the ones here. I think I started with, for the main color, dark green 2, which is XF89, and it's a little lighter than XF81, which is dark green RAF, and that's dark green 2, and this is dark green 2 just without the RAF, and they're similar, you can see, but one is definitely lighter than the other. So I started with this, and it just kind of kept lightening it with some buff. I used a bit of buff and a bit of the dark yellow just to give it a bit of the hue, and actually even threw a little bit of the white in the end just to sort of get it. So you can see there's a little bit of tonal difference here between this side and this side, which I'll play with and work with for the main color. And then I think our dark parts of the camo are in yeah, we're gonna have to find, because I was looking for a darker green that's almost like, this is almost like a bluish green that we've got here on the card, kind of see. So yeah, I mean, this was really close to that color. On camera it looks kind of darker, but it's pretty close to what's there. It's the lighter one. It's pretty close to what's on the main body. But the darker green, I'm kind of at a loss so far for. I've got, let's see, what's this one? Oh, that's maybe getting kind of in there. That's darker. Yeah, maybe that with a bit of NATO. Maybe just to knock it down a bit. How's that going to look with that? Yeah, maybe add a little NATO or rubber black to the green, maybe, just to get it a little bit sort of darker. See, there's this weird blue in there too that I don't, can you see that little bit of blue in there? So I mean, it's really crazy, this modeled camo that's on this thing. And I was going to airbrush, but I think I'm going to do this with a brush. I started brushing. This was done with a brush. And I sort of modeled, modeled it on. It's really thin. I've thinned it out with thinner, Tamiya X22 thinner, to get it pretty thin. But so far, it seems to be working pretty good. So I'm going to carry on and get the main body painted in this lighter green. And then we'll work away on figuring out what color to use for the camouflage, the darker green. And yeah, we've just started just sort of base coating, picking out some little details here and there. I started getting some metals on stuff, picking out some different little details in different colors as I go. I masked off these arms for the hatch, and I just got to peel this one off here. But I masked them off because I figured they're like a pinch point and they should have some sort of safety warning on them. So got those done. And sorry about that. I had someone come to the front door. Now that I'm back. Yes, so seeing as this is going to be back from mission and going to be getting its vehicle service after, on the back here of the mobile suit, on our power suit, we have these vents that cover up this back part, which is the kind of the motor and the breathing apparatus. Your main power center is kind of right back in here with your air filtration and whatnot. And it has, these are the vents that go over, which one's here? Here we go. Got so many of these little plates. So these little plates go over these guys like this, I think. I do believe. I think there's one that goes there. And there's this larger one that goes on the top. Right here. Somehow. And they cover over these holes. And it looks like with these little things that they got on the back side, that they're going to sit fairly close to the hull, the shell, so the body. So I wanted to kind of expand it because I'm going to have the cockpit open, like the hatch open is going to be open, the hatch will be open, the cockpit's going to be open, you'll be able to see the pilot. And these things I thought would be cool too if they were open a little bit more. So I've got some very thin styrene rod. I'll cut some out, but I'm going to put little extensions on these and get these to stand out away from the body. I don't know. I'm going to go pretty, probably about this far. So they look like they're venting and they're out for maintenance. So popped out to, give you access to what's underneath them. And I thought that would be kind of a neat little custom edition. So I have so many of these little shields and flaps that I start forgetting which one's which. But anyways, that's the plan. So I'm going to carry on getting a base coat of green on here first. And then we'll start figuring out what to sort of detail up on the inside. And we'll get our camo started on the outside. So let's get a base coat of green on. And we'll be basically right back. So here we have our protective panels, shields, for the vents on the top of the body. So I've made a custom yellow, and from a little bit of red, just a drop, and flat yellow, and just a drop of red. And I'm basically thinned it out. I thin out all of my Tamiya paint in the jar with about a palette and a half of X22, and that's the way I keep them. So it's already pretty thin, and I'm just dabbing it out and letting it just sort of flow over the surface, and it's giving me a nice mottled effect. Brush a little bit too much. And I'm just leaving it to dry. And you can see it's leaving me a bit of the white showing through. So we'll get a coat of the yellow on these so that they can get to drying. I'm finding the trick to work with the Tamiya and the thinners is to get it on fast and to let it just flow. But if you play with it after that, you're in for a world of hurt. It gets sticky and very unforgiving. So you got to kind of just sort of get it and get on it. Let it sort of flow and do its thing as quickly as possible. You don't need very much. Again, if you thin it out, Tamiya paint already is pretty thin. But I find when I keep it already prepped with the X22 in it, as soon as I get it, I open it and I just put about a palette and a half. I fill it right up to that bottom lip ring. Okay. Oh, down on the edge. Okay, so there's those. Let's let those set. And then I'm wondering if I should get it on here. First off, I guess I might as well. So it comes right around the top. If you look at our paint, you can see where it comes sort of to the top of the ridge of that back hatch, all the way, you know, 2/3 of the way across the top there. So I think I'm going to paint that in now and perhaps and come into the yellow with the green. So I'm going to start. Oh, let's get us on camera here. And I'm just going to start right around this edge. Just keep working as far as I'm going to go. A little more paint. Just keep moving our way. Across. Get sort of thinner as I go. I think that should probably get us most of the way. Yeah. All right. Okay, there's that. Let those dry. Well, it gets our pads that are going to be yellow, shoulder, thigh pads, hip pads, I guess, or knee pad. I did one knee pad. Now, I guess, we can start with our base green. These are going to be green, these guys. Oh, did I hit this back guy yellow too? Yeah, I think I want to hit this guy in yellow too. Let's do that, shall we? Let's get this guy in some yellow too. Whoa, I don't want to go too heavy with the paint. I love these Maschinen Krieger designs. They're just awesome, man. I mean, the Gundams are awesome too. They're so cool, but they're kind of busy. These are a little more simplified design. Like, the Gundams are pretty, well, the Zaku and stuff, the original ones, but some of the Gundams get pretty busy. So, there, we got a nice model yellow. And there we go. Okay. Let's see, what else should be yellow? Anything else? Well, I guess we'll find some more stuff inside. And I guess while I'm at it, I might as well pop off. Let's just pop off this masking tape here. Might as well get this stripped off while we got it out. Now, the one I hit it with a little bit of the dry brush with some metal, and I dabbed it here and there just so it looked like it was chipped and nicked, and I'll do the same to this one. And I'll compare the two in a second. I'll just get this little bit of masking off. There we go. Oh. There we go. There's our little arm. And yeah, our other one. Oh, I had it pushed in. I haven't glued it yet. Okay, so there's our one glued in. And you can see I've dabbed a little bit of metal on it. So it looks like it's been scratched, and then it'll get a wash. So I guess I can slide this guy in here. I'm gonna know you. Slide that back into where it goes. Here. Give this guy a little press. Get in here, yeah. There we go. Okay, so that's gonna look pretty cool, I think. Our hinge. Oh, well, you know, once I get them glued into position. Thought that was moving kind of easy. But anyways, that can sit for now because we got some detail painting to do inside. So there goes our hinges, latches. Did a little bit of dry brush on the hands just to bring out some, oh, that's something I should do now, is I'm going to take some finesse. Just some hairspray. In my case, it's Finesse 250 at Dollarama here in Canada. I'm just going to decant it. There we go. I'm just going to decant some in here because I do want to do chipping on the hands. That's a little too big. I guess I can use you. Make sure it's dried off. So, first off, we'll get some here. I think these are going to get changed a lot. So, I think right around the wear areas, we'll give it some hairspray so we can chip. Put some on this end. Hands will probably get chipped up pretty good. Okay, set that there to dry, and definitely we'll do the hands because I want the paint to chip off the hands and reveal our metal underneath. So just get some brushed on here. There we go. Now these suits that I'm doing, I'm not going to really stipple them and everything because this thing has a laser gun in it, and to me, I know I'm being weird, and I love the aesthetics of the cast and the stimpling and all that stuff, but to me, These are going to kind of be, I guess, when they first came out. Um, I know that the lore is these suits have been stumbling around for and fighting each other for maybe 100 plus years. So, in some of it, but I think for mine, I'm going to have them where they're basically just new, being deployed and into service. But in my mind, this thing wouldn't be made out of metal or cast of anything. It's my suit is going to be made out of ceramic. It's going to be some sort of ceramic nano. What do you call that? The nano carbon graphene woven monofilament panels with a ceramic coating to make it protected against such stuff. So I think a smooth surface for mine is what I'm going to do. Now we'll play around with the idea of maybe going that route and doing the traditional Krieger, but I noticed that that's kind of the thing, and I get it. It's cool. I just kind of for my universe, it makes sense that this thing is not made necessarily from metal, but we'll see. I did stimple up the slipper feet a bit because I figured they might be made of something different. I'll just get some chipping fluid along the bottoms here. We're probably going to take a bit of chippage, and I guess here on the feet. All right, a little bit there on his feet. Just sort of. No. Okay. Get it on there. I'll make sure we got it around in there. A little bit in there. A little bit in there. Okay. And I guess I'm gonna probably handle. So I might as well do along the seam. Right here, I guess. Okay. Do a little bit back here, I guess. A little bit back on the back of the legs. Okay. All right. I guess we could do a little bit here. Okay. All right. Let that dry. And I will carry on with our custom mix for our light green. So let's get some brush action going, and we can start. Okay, there we go. Tilt this little feet down. Get at everything, I do believe. Okay. A little dabble do ya. One foot. Ah, 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 ah. Yeah, and it's the dabbing that makes it work. Not quite stimpling, because you're actually using the side of the brush to sort of get the paint to lay where you want it and then flow around itself. But there we go. There's his feet. Go do his leg.